Hi everyone and welcome back to another Borkno game video. Today's video is dedicated to Arena Reset and comparing us to the JP timeline on some stuff coming in the future. So let's go ahead and jump right into this. This is going to be Andu Krandu's site. Now the cool part is it says at the very top 184 days since global launch. Now what's very interesting about this is Extreme Dungeon came out fairly recently, 155 days, that's when it launched in JP. Now if you actually jump into Quest and then you go into Extreme Dungeon, as you guys know, it's already out. Now what's interesting is I believe we definitely followed the timeline where we sort of had it after 155 days. It feels like it's been 20 to 30 days, so we sort of like matched like this 155 day mark. That's what I'm trying to say. And then another thing is Rin and Ayane did get recently added to the dungeon and arena shop. So if you actually jump into like the actual shops, go into home and then you jump into a shop because that's where it's all located. You can see in dungeons specifically, if you scroll down, because I've been buying these, Rin is right here and I feel like you should buy her in case you want an alternative healer. Rin is going to be good for particular situations where you can run her in Luna Tower, and she's just going to be a decent character to 5-star. And then you can also look into Ayane. Ayane is a huge clan battle character. We'll actually talk about her a little bit later because she is going to be relevant for the Cyclops fight, and I recommend people, actually investing in her because she does have a defense break. So when it comes to those two things, Rin, Ayane, and then of course we talked about like Extreme Dungeon, it's all relative alignment with like the actual JP like timeline features being added. The next thing to look into is Arena Reset. It's in 186 days. Now this hasn't been talked about whatsoever in any post, but if you look up top, it's 184 days since launch as of the recording of this video. So what does that mean? Most likely we are going to be getting some sort of Arena Reset for Battle Arena specifically. If you're wondering what I'm talking about, let's go ahead and close this and jump into Quest. You will see in Battle Arena, this is probably the place that's going to be resetting. All right, now one thing to note is that Princess Arena is not going to be resetting. If you're wondering how I know that, you can check right here, 369 days. So we're still 6 months away from any of that happening for Princess Arena. Now if you're wondering, what do you lose out in case you can't reach the #1 slot? So let's go to reward list, and right here, this is what we get for the one time. This is the one-time feature where you're like, oh, you get thousands of jewels if you manage to hit from top 100 all the way up to rank 10 or ranks 1 to 10, right? You get 500. The only jewels you actually miss out on is ranks 1 to 10 and ranks 100. If you manage to top out the top 100s. I feel like for most players that is easier to do than to hit #1. So if you manage not to hit #1, you're essentially only losing these jewels. And if you calculate from ranks 1 to 10, this is only like 500 jewels. And then if you calculate from rank 11 to rank 100, it's actually not that much. It's like maybe if you add these two together, it's maybe like 1500 jewels. Maybe it's like a multi, maybe it's like 1,000, something like that, right? My math isn't great. I'm not trying to calculate this. All I'm saying is that you lose maybe a multi by not reaching like ranks 1 to 100. It's not really worth it to push rank #1 in order to meet the requirement, or because it's arena's resetting in the next 186 days, so you need to push arena. I don't think that's really the case, because if you need to spend more than 1500 jewels or whatever amount of jewels this equates to, it's not worth it. All right, that's what I'm trying to say, because trying to hit #1, there's some people who's guarding #1, there's that like sort of occurring, and then of course like there's people constantly pushing. But if you can hit #1 once, then it's totally fine, and then you will get like these rewards. But just note that you are not missing out on like these thousands of jewels reward. You're only missing out on best rank, because this is essentially what's going to be giving out. But if you go from like lowest rank, whichever that is, I think it's like 30,000, and then all back to #1 all over again, you won't get like the crazy amount of jewels from the first time, but you will get a decent amount, and that should help you for pulling for Christina or whichever banner that is. But just know Arena Reset is most likely to occur fairly soon. And when it comes down to this, our next character that we're going to be getting from the shard shop is going to be Misato, which is an absolutely phenomenal character, but that is fairly far away. The closest thing we're actually going to be seeing is a Luna Tower, which is 210 10 days away. So that's roughly 30 days from, you know, the recording of this video. So we might be seeing Luna Tower fairly soon. That should be a huge update coming in the coming month or so. So probably at the end of August. That is going to be some huge content if we can get that. Now, note here, if we jump to Kenevenzi's site, we have a couple days left for most events. Most things being like Summer Carol is going to be ending in 10 days, but just a thing that I want us to take a look at is Clan Battle is going to be starting in the next 3 days. So that means that we will not have Summer Tamaki during like this snake boss, and Summer Tamaki is actually a huge hero in order to absolutely kill this boss. If you're wondering how am I getting that information, if you jump over here, you can see this is going to be like the CN sheet that shows the different Clan Battle teams. Summer Tamaki is right here at the top, and she's going to be used fairly frequently. You can see her here on the teams for the Orosboros boss. So she's just going to be a very decent Clan Battle unit, and the fact that a lot of like top guilds don't have to pull for her, or just generally a lot of guilds don't have to pull for her in order to deal the highest DPS, that's going to be good. Is she a must pull? Not really in my opinion, but it's just something to take into account in case you're wondering, oh, you know, since Summer Tamaki is going to be used for this clan battle, do I have to pull for her? You don't have to pull for her for this specific clan battle. Just note that Summer Tamaki is going to be a clan battle unit, and she is going to be effective for very particular situations. So the fact that she's not releasing during clan battle is kind of nice, but at the same time, you never know, they might release her out of nowhere just to do it, because we do have a couple days left before, you know, the next reset, because we're probably going to get some sort of thing happening, you know, maybe on the coming days. But at the end of the day, the half anniversary is currently occurring, where we're getting free login jewels, we're getting like double mission stamina, which is really nice. I've been loving it, and 3x normal is just around the corner, so that'll be like the best time to farm for everything. But at the end of the day, these are the teams that I'm probably going to be looking into. We'll do like CB prep, but I feel like most of y'all already know these are the teams that we should be aiming for, building up your magic units and then building up, you know, some of your Hyori and Mitsuki comps. I don't see a lot of Jun Saren for like the newer bosses, but I'm sure they're going to be effective. And yeah, let's go ahead and jump into actual arena, do some like closing thoughts as far as arena reset occurring fairly soon. And not to mention Luna Tower is gonna be within the next coming updates. To me, that's just relatively exciting, because that tells me that more content is coming, and I feel like more content is just great for Princess Connect. Personally speaking, the thing that I am most excited for is definitely Luna Tower. I'm not really excited for Arena Reset, because I feel like a lot of people have been asking for when that is going to be occurring. So it's finally going to happen, and with Arena Reset, that's going to provide a huge boon in jewels that I feel like everyone will need, because Christina, she's not around the corner, but there's going to be a couple of tempting units. There's going to be Summer Tamaki, and then there's also going to be Tomo. Tomo is actually going to be very relevant for clan battle for the next 2 months. So I feel like a lot of like the top clans will try to make Tomo a sort of required unit. When it comes to competing for top 10, you are definitely sweating. You're definitely trying to push the envelope as far as characters goes, because at the end of the day, you know, hitting like the top ranks is really having like the proper characters and having the proper timelines. But yeah, that's how I generally feel about everything. Personally, I'm just hyped to get some more content, and Luna Tower coming, it's going to be like a weekly thing. So 1 week of Luna Tower is going to be nice whenever it does decide to launch. And there will also be like an entirely different meta for that. So it's going to be interesting to see what comps. I think Akino is going to have some relevancy in Luna Tower, and possibly Rin, and just like characters who are more like healing based and more sustain based. So it's going to be very interesting to see how that goes. Will we actually be able to take down this team? There is roughly 30 seconds left, but this June has been an iron wall in our arena fight so far, and getting absolutely healed by this Maho. Oh, Shiori managed to take it down without misses whatsoever. Can we take down this Maho right here? We got 20 seconds left. Oh, managed to take her down. Sometimes I have to run this team in particular for like stall teams where they're just too magically defensive. I've been noticing that there has been more magic defensive like comps as of late since Summer Carol released, and there's not as many like physical like defensive teams. So it's kind of interesting. And I also feel like a lot of people are pushing battle arena since reset is going to be occurring. I'm not sure if people are, but I just feel like with the rise of Summer Carol, a lot of people have definitely been pushing. So we got a couple of days left. I managed to like catch that information before it became completely irrelevant. So hopefully that helps out a couple of folks in order to push the last bits of arena, in order to get those like couple hundreds, if not 1500 jewels or more, in order to get an extra multi, possibly for like the actual, you know, banners that you decide to pull on. Personally speaking, I feel like the next must pull banner for free to play isn't until New Year's Yui and Christina banner. That's probably like the best banner as far as everyone else like is trying to pull on, because relatively speaking, like the other banners, they don't really matter too much unless you're trying to stay, you know, within the top 10s and be insanely competitive. But personally speaking, I don't think Princess Connect should be enjoyed in that way for a majority of players, and most of us will probably be sticking with like more just free to play setups where we're running like Summer Carol, we're doing like Kyoka's or whatever teams that we can run hodgepodge together. Even if you don't have Makoto, even if you don't have June, at the end of the day, you get to have fun with your waifus and waifu over meta. Lose this fight, absolutely fine. Maybe I should have ran more like magical oriented like stuff, but I was kind of surprised I was not able to take down that Miyako. That Miyako was like extra thick, but I'm pretty sure it just had something to do with the fact that, you know, I didn't have enough firepower or I was missing. Well, magic never misses. I'm just not an arena expert when it comes to this thing. After I pushed number 1, I kind of just like fell behind, and when it comes to like clan battle guides and, you know, giving out information, I'm still definitely going to be doing that even though I'm in Beepo. Just note that I'm not going to be, you know, explicitly stating any other information outside of the fact that I'm going to be using, you know, these particular teams. That I feel like this is generally noteworthy and this will help a lot of people, and the fact that this sheet is now out has given a lot of players like the chance to compete at higher levels. So just feel free to look out for those teams in case you're wondering what to use for this clan battle. But anyways, if you made it this far in today's video, consider subscribing, dropping a like, leaving a comment, follow me on Twitch, follow me on Twitter. Once we hit 25,000 subs, we're doing a giveaway on my other video for PGR. I'm doing a giveaway, so if you want to be part of that, leave a comment on that video. It's an apology video. You know, if you play PGR and you watch Princess Connect, you're a gosh darn hero. Anyways, thanks so much and have yourself a fantastic day. I need to spend this stamina real quick.